My third guy plays some games.
Alright, hi everybody, Weather Guy here, and we are back with some more great Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are here to continue the memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro, and we're about to talk to the victim, I believe, from that day, from the original Kokoro case. Right? There you are at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh? I forgot we had Sasada with us. That's so great. Oh yeah, that's right. We're having a flashback. Right? We're having a flashback. Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. Time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I have been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. In point of fact, I myself was awoken at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. And feeling it was somewhat unjust that I alone had been roused at such an hour, I sent one to you. Well, thanks for that. Anyway, you're here now, so the victim is over there. She's only just regained consciousness. Yeah, this is immediately after the Clouded Kokoro. You should introduce yourselves, and I shall observe from here. So that's the lady who was found on the snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back. Her name is... Ah yes, here we are. Miss Green. Lovely name for a person wearing green. I guess we do what we typically do. Observe the rest of the room first. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Okay. Oh yes, it's a picture of a young gentleman. He looks to be about the same age as Miss Green, I would say. Perhaps the young woman's special someone. Do you think? Yeah, I could see that. My, Mr. Ryu, I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. Nonetheless, I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Alright, anyway. Who is this? Who is this lovely fella? This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? I don't think that's a decoration, Mr. Ryu. It's an artist's mannequin, I believe. Used when practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Man, for some reason, I've always wanted one of those. I don't know why. I'm weird like that. Like, I want random things that aren't particularly useful, but I just love having. Like, for example, well, I have a lovely hourglass here, and it is a full hour, which was important to me when I got it. Very happy with that. Sometimes I just turn it over and like watching the sand go. Obviously, I don't stare at it for an hour. I'm not psychotic, but I leave it going and check on it every now and then, while I'm doing whatever on the computer. Really, it's not exactly what you call a typical figure for that purpose, though, is it? This is a good point, because that figure is more rotund. No, I suppose not. I confess I've never seen one quite so full-figured before. That's another nice, gentle way of putting it. If you want to draw a full-figured person, it's the right tool for the job. Very true, but I don't know. The reason why I say I don't know is because I feel like... Oh gosh, how do I phrase this? I feel like people who are full-figured, like myself, I feel like our shapes are more diverse than more fit people, right? Because I feel like if you're a full-figured person, you're not necessarily full-figured in the same places that another person is full-figured in, you know? Like, you might have a big belly, you might have a wide belly, you might have a larger upper torso up here, maybe a big neck, maybe you have big old legs or something, who knows? So, whereas with a very fit person, generally they're much closer to the same, right? It's more of where they're a bit more muscular, right? But, I don't know. I don't know why I'm even bringing this up. It's a weird thing to talk about. Sometimes I just feel like I have to add a little bit of extra commentary, you know? Ah, this looks like the patient's treatment notes. Let's see. Do not feed. What is this place, a zoo? You know, I seem to remember seeing an almost identical sign in our local park. For the pigeons, yes, this is a person. Poor woman, I hope she hasn't read this. I mean, that's probably not why it says don't feed, though. Sometimes you're just not supposed to eat when you're in the hospital because maybe they need to do a test that you need to have an empty stomach for or something like that. Who knows? Lots of reasons why you wouldn't want to eat right before a hospital visit or during your hospital visit. There are lots of bottles in that cabinet, aren't there? Do you think it's safe to keep them like that? I'm actually going to the hospital tomorrow morning, so that'll be fun. You're a patient here. I feel sure you take some medicine by mistake when you're half asleep. That is a worry. At least the cabinet has a lock, even if it's only a flimsy looking one. Is any of this actually going to end up being relevant? I'm not sure. Like, I'm curious why there's such a large mouse here, too. I've no doubt you'd manage to unlock that somehow while you're half asleep as well. The limits even to what I can do when I'm half asleep, you know, Mrs. Sato. Alright. Our bag. That must be a bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. It's so funny that we're talking about all of her stuff while we're right here in front of her, too, you know? Miss Green looks very sad. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement, though. Sure, there might be some sort of evidence, huh? I guess a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. Alright then, let's see what's inside. Change of clothes, no doubt, and... We can't look inside. No, Mr. Ryo, you must never scrutinize a young maiden's personal belongings. The young maiden might have chocolates, or biscuits, or caramel. Oh, Lord. Alright, nothing else? Maybe the mouse? Yeah? Eek, a mouse! Mr. Ryo, an enormous mouse! Vermin in a hospital, that doesn't seem the best. It looks like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? It's very plump. I'm not sure we can say that's down to the excellence of this facility, if that's what you were thinking. Alright, let's go on. No, I meant to go right. There we go. Ah, this looks like the treatment notes for whoever's occupying this bed. Let's see. Do not permit to run around the hospital. This is probably where Herlock Sholmes was at recently. No, because Herlock Sholmes wasn't there till the final case. I'm foolish. Patient doesn't seem to be here at the moment, so... Here she is probably running around the hospital then. Oh dear, how worrying. What's worrying is why they haven't discharged the patient yet. Yeah, that's very curious. That's probably actually important. Yeah, their own medicine cabinet as well. All sorts of medicines in this cabinet, look. I'm not sure if it's safe leaving them in reach of everyone like this. Yes, you're right. I can imagine if you were peckish, you might try a whole bottle or two. Well, at least there seems to be a little lock. Yeah. I imagine that would stop you if you were hungry. Yeah. So they've made it a point to mention that these locks are fairly flimsy on the medicine cabinets. Very curious. Alright, I think that's about it though. I think it's time to talk to her. Seems like it. Okay. Okay. Anything with a window? No? Okay, let's talk to her. Good morning. Oh, she's got tears in her eyes. Look at that. Hello, I'm Ryu from the Empire of Japan. Oh no. What was it your knife that... Are you the man who... No, I'm a lawyer. And I'm Sasato Mikitova. Pleased to meet you. Oh no, was it your knife then? Are you the one? No, I assure you. I'm Mr. Ryo's judicial assistant. We heard that you'd regained consciousness and wanted to come to give you our best wishes. Best wishes? For me? Thank you. I'm Olive Green. I'm an artist. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is I'm trying to be an artist. That all checks out. Oh, I love that her name's Olive Green, too. That's great. Well, what I really mean is I desperately want to be an artist. But the truth is, I don't have any talent. I know I don't. It's no wonder I was stabbed in the back. I don't think that's related, actually. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over backwards to put herself down. Oh no, this is a sad case, isn't it? Oh no. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. Suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? While I've been here in the hospital, I mean. Indeed it has, my dear madam. Spectacularly by none other than I, Sherlock Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Ryu's hard work in court that solved the case. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I am afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. Oh, I see. Me coming around seems to have made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. It was selfish of me. Oh no, we're all so relieved that you're on the mend, Miss Green. Really, we are. With that kind of attitude, maybe her surname should be Blue, not Green. Olive blue just doesn't work though, does it? So, you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, oh, I couldn't possibly claim that. I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really, at the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, an Academy of Fine Arts? Great Britain is such a wonderful country. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh no, actually, I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. I see. How very interesting. Oh no, is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away on the Underground from here, and Thorndike Academy is a mere 3-minute walk from Brixton Town Centre. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means, including the maleficent Mr. Moustache. Inferior means, I suppose Soseki does fit the bill. It struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. What's this? She suddenly clammed up. Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying into a young maiden's private affairs. Oh dear me, do forgive me. What a jerk, huh? Oh, if you don't mind. I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Oh yes, of course, we won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Green. We honestly didn't learn too much here, I feel like. Is there a Mr. Narrowfodder here? Mr. Narrowfodder. I'm guessing this is the other patient. Narrowfodder now. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but... Ah, Mr. Narrowfodder, good. This is for you. It's a message from Mr. Saucy Nutsmeg. Who was that? Mr. Natsume? Sent a message to me? But why would a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume? Exactly, what's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? What are you waiting for? Let me see that. Oh. Well, this is most unexpected. Something wrong, Mr. Sholmes? Something wrong, Mr. Sholmes. He says, have you not seen this note? No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls, a case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Murder? It's always murder, isn't it? Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we've yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodgings once we did. That will be entirely convenient. I'm assuming we're going to his lodgings. Convenient? What do you mean? It's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Moustache's lodgings. Wait, what? Man, he has terrible luck. I'll hail a few at once. I don't know what that word was. was only yesterday that Soseki was in court and we were dispelling doubts about his innocence. And now the very next day, there's a murder at the man's own address? May very well be the unluckiest man alive. So it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Alright. Let's see. Let's have our visit with Soseki. Oh, it's the frickin' guy who speaks in the frickin' Shakespearean voice that we saw last time for one scene. But this isn't Mr. Natsume's room. This must be the other guy's room. What on earth? Oh my, the gentleman is deceased without question. He's dead. The locum student. Whoa. The locum student, Mr. Naruto, Esquire. Mr. Natsume. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court. Yesterday, I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And then I wake up the next day to this? No early bird should catch a worm like this. Woeful worm without wiggle. See, you're in high spirits again this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ah! Not the horrible Herlock Sholmes. Shoo! Shove off! Show yourself the door! I never invited you! This is terrible news, huh? Mr. Sholmes came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume. I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Oh, it's our boy Gregson. Let's go. We haven't seen Gregson yet this game. The God. Gregson the God. It's worth noting again that his name was on that mysterious list that also included Kazuma's name. So that's quite curious indeed. Here they are already, the busybodies. Ah, Inspector Gregson, what a pleasant surprise. Pleasant, is it? Gives me heartburn every time I see your face at a crime scene, Sholmes. Ha! I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is a result of your excessive consumption of fried food. Great assumption. Good morning, Inspector. This is a crime scene. Don't you go touching anything. Alright, good morning to you too, Sunshine. Oh boy, we have a lot of looking around to do, don't we? This is the crime scene? Oi, I said hands off. You're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance. I know you're kind. You'll mess it up just by looking at it. Ah, someone's in a bad mood. Yeah, it's important at this point that Gregson isn't fully on board with us, you know? There's certainly some bad air in here, isn't there? Alright, it sounds like I'd be better talk to the inspector first and try to curry some favor. Alright, whatever. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Mr. William Shakespeare. He was a lodger here. Shamspeare, it said. As you can probably tell, he was an actor. Bit of a dead loss as it happens, or just dead. Mr. Shamspeare? It was the landlord, old Mr. Garadev, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. The fellow didn't rise at his usual hour, so Garadev got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Garadev have a bad leg? Ah, yeah, you're right there. It was that jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Soseki? The victim was pretty hard up, it seems. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. He had no money, no place to go, and no friends. His only acquaintances were the people in this house. Miserable life and a miserable end to it. So what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation. Shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fellow looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious, but I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the cohabiter. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear, Mr. Natsume appears to be under suspicion again. Certainly seems that way. He does just come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man, how unfortunate. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fellow's been a goner for that long. Body's still warm. Even if the inspector would allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch a dead body. Can we look around now? Doesn't seem that way. Let's talk to Soseki. What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. And then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Endless existence of excruciating experiences. So the victim lived here on the ground floor and your room is just 1 story up, isn't it? Yes, that's right. In a way, we were neighbors, I suppose. So did you know the victim? Were you friends? What's he gonna say? Oh god, he's nervous. What's the matter with Soseki now? It was an innocent enough question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Oh, well, I suppose he wasn't a complete stranger. Oh, did he ever invite me to his room? No, ever. On my honor, I swear it. Great. What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Ryu? When we found him here, I felt wretched. So I sent word asking you to come. Through that inspector over there. Alright, great. That makes sense. Anything else we should look at? There must be something else. Everything's checked off. Let's look to the left. Guess we can talk to Mr. Sholmes. In his weird pose there. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? Ha! You need only observe it to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery? Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. My goodness, but isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes? Huh. Now that you propose the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. We're about to have one of those deduction things, aren't we? Mr. Natsume, what's wrong? Is something that Mr. Sholmes said significant somehow? No, don't mind me. Forgot I was here. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! Wow, way to look incredibly guilty, bud. Alright, Mr. Natsume, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' seductions? No, please, pretend we're not here. Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Possible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail. Here it comes. But of course, let the theatrical tragedy before us be unraveled by my great deductions presented for your pleasure in 2 acts. I've heard some truly astounding and great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles will unfold before our eyes this time? So, my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise for Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Great, here we go. We know the drill with these. We might get it tutorialized a bit since it's the first time in this game, but we'll see. Topic 1 is our cause of death. I love the camera movements that they do with these. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Oh my god. Why is this soap set so purposely upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals the answer. Yeah, that's where we're totally off, right? It appears that the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking up arm in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end he couldn't resist devouring the slippery feast. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the lather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. Though personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. Oh, brother. Poisoning from soap ingestion. Topic 2, suicide or murder. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's Last Supper. Did the man dine and die alone? The single teacup suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal would have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Curious. Though forced open now, at the time of the incident, this door was locked. And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with his inferior soap from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with that acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on its way to the hereafter. Right? Now we gotta correct these, right? Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Holmes' great deduction. Great deductions are back on the menu, baby. We all see that's silly. There's just one thing, Mr. Holmes. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Ryu? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. How extraordinary. In truth, I have tried a little soap for myself in the past. You've eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it would cleanse my gut. And did it? As I writhed in agony on the floor and spilt the contents of my stomach. Yes, I believe it did. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I wouldn't eat it even if you did. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? It's Mr. Natsume. I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as if Mr. Sholmes' seductions touched a nerve somehow. Nonsense. Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, great detective's deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Yes, Mr. Sholmes' observations and deductions are sometimes a little too sharp. It has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in at an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do. Yes, we must pick out the key words in Mr. Sholmes' quiet, brilliant deductions, and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. If we can do that, I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Sholmes meant to say in the first place. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise for Harlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular Act 1. That's what we like to see. Course correction, that's what it's called. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this console in the night. Yeah. Alright, let's wait till it gives us a chance to pop in. That might not even be soap. Alright, this is where we hop in. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man was eating something. Or about to eat something. Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I should prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks. Of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate. But might not there be some other explanation? Well, not many options here. Teacup? Can't even check the soap? Can't look around? I'm guessing we would see soap on the fork.
Take that!
That was the wrong answer. Purpose is a fork, sir. If it's an implement for eating. What do people eat? Whatever's on their plates. In other words, it couldn't be clearer. The victim was... Oh my god, I'm gonna choke myself. I thought there would have been soap on the fork. I figured that would make sense. If he was doing that. I think it's the first time I've ever really missed something on one of these course corrections. Sad day. So the only other option is the teacup. Yep. Have any of y'all ever eaten soap before? I'm curious about that. I have not. The closest thing I've come, and I think a lot of people have done this, was a very common thing, was I was in the Air Force for a while, and during basic training, things are very, very boring at times, especially during you would have these classroom sessions where you would learn about history or ways that you're supposed to do certain things, whatever, right? Classroom setting, and you're getting taught by a training instructor who is not actually trained much on presenting and teaching, I don't believe. You know what I mean? Not a traditional teacher like you would have in school, right? Just a presenter mostly. And it's a lot of death by PowerPoint. So it's very, very boring. But you cannot fall asleep. And if you fall asleep, you are yelled at. Everybody's yelled at. You get in trouble. That sort of thing. It's not pleasant. You can't fall asleep even though you're dead tired, right? So, what people did, what us trainees did, is we all had hand sanitizer in our packs with us. Everybody has to carry hand sanitizer and water and other stuff, right? But we all had hand sanitizer, like a couple containers. And we would get hand sanitizer on our hands and just sniff it, you know? Just to wake us up, get that extra energy in. Because that's how tired you would be and how uninteresting a lot of the topics were, right? And it happened a lot. It probably still does happen. I don't know. I mean, it's been 12 years now, so who knows? Sorry, that was quite the tangent as well, but sometimes I like getting on little tangents. So we know that it's not the fork. Can turn the camera only slightly. What about the hat? I'm so stupid. There it is. Look, it's the other half of the soap on the ground.
Take that!
Still doesn't really explain what happened to the soap. Why is it split in half? Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all. But it's obvious, really, for no depths of hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, took only a single bite. Very doubtful. That begs the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Ryu, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. Where London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yeah. So it must have been the contents of the teacup. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man lick the soap rather than eat it. Soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. There are no signs of any food in this room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? Super obvious. 1,000,000%. The teacup. Okay. I was nervous for a second there. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been the vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that this victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. Which leads us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to the ingestion of poison contained in the teacup. Topic 1 completed. One topic to go. And then we'll likely end the video shortly thereafter. Alright, let's figure out if it's suicide or murder. Cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Yep. Okay. So, clearly if you're poisoned, it's much less likely to be suicide. Ah, the Western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deduction so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shakespeare was having a drink of tea. There'd be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when we heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the crime scene again for some more clues. Great. Must be another teacup. How do we not notice the second teacup? That's insane.
Take that!
Whatever. Did the man dine and die alone? The other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in this room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in this room last night taking tea with the victim. What are you talking about? It's definitely Soseki. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. You mean to say you know exactly who was in this room? Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. No. The lock was likely broken whenever Soseki and Mr. Gerda came into the room later. Not sure I like where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap. The identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is something I have a very bad feeling about. We can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Ryu. I suppose not. Time to look around again. Alright. Pile of books. Oh, yeah. It's the pile of books. It's Soseke's books.
Take that!
Those are definitely Soseke's books. It might be the same ones that he had checked out, you know? You'll observe that there's a pile of books here. Yet clearly, no one man could hope to read 3 whole books. In other words, there must have been someone else in this. I must warn you, Mr. Ryu, that a sprinkling of phrases such as yet clearly and in other words will not fool anyone. But I always hear you using turns of phrase like that in your deductions. Then more fool you. Oh, we were wrong? Oh, I was so confident. Oh no. Can't believe I was wrong about that. I was so sure that the books were Soseke's. Whatever. Alright, let's look for something more conclusive. I know we can check out the drink. Empty bottle. Candle. Not the broken lock. It's just the candle. So, either way, we're gonna get this. We only have 2 more options. I think we're gonna go with the empty bottle.
Take that!
This feels wrong too. Fudge. Oh no. That makes me upset. This feels like we're just really guessing, you know? Hate that. Hate that for us. It's okay though. No big deal. Alright, so we're gonna have to try the candle.
Take that!
It's not the candle? Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my frickin' mind. Oh, what am I missing? I don't even want to read all of this. Oh. Ah, man, imagine we missed another one. The only other option that I think is the broken lock, but we'll have to be very, very careful. No, nothing else here. Nothing here, nothing up there. Nothing on this side of the room apart from the candle. Door, just the lock. Drink, bottle, pile of books. Glasses? No. Other book? No. Nothing. It has to be the lock.
Take that!
No way. Ah, I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh, I'm turning on the autoplay. Oh no. What did we miss? I selected all the items in the room, didn't I? Oh my god. Retry from course correction. Ah, man, we are almost done with this part. Alright. Well, with that being said, we're just gonna have to chill out for a bit while we go through this again. So we get to that part. Very disappointing, but it is what it is, you know? Sometimes we fail. Sometimes we just fail. Sad day. Maybe I should have save scummed, you know? While we're doing that, let me show you some stuff. Look at this. My kiddo made this for me. This is a good luck potion bottle sand thing. Isn't that cool? It's orange and yellow, 2 of my favorite colors. Look what else she made me. It's a little snowman. Isn't that cute? Look what else. She made me an energy potion. Can you see it? It's small and pink with glitter. She wrote energy potion on it. It's great. And another thing. She painted me a lucky rock. Isn't that great? A lot of great stuff. Alright. Let's do the soap. Do the soap.
Take that!
What else is going on in my life? We played Dungeons and Dragons today. I played it with my kiddo. I run a campaign for her. I was thinking about making like a campaign diary thing for that game. Where I show like live the process of me making the encounters or whatever else, you know? Planning things. I think that might be interesting. I don't know. But we had a fun pair of encounters. One was where she ran into Captain Jack, who was a knockoff of Captain Jack Sparrow, which I totally stole, but at least she's not familiar with that yet. I even did the Captain Jack run around the house to show her what he ran like. And she nearly killed him, but he got away. Delivered his famous line, you know. That was fun. And then later, the town that they were heading towards, they arrived at, and it had been taken over by a shadow dragon and all of his little shadows, which are like creatures that use shadow. Right here.
Take that!
And that was really cool, having a scene like that where the shadows sort of creep into the room and then materialize and stuff. And then they kill like the NPC that she's with. And then during her long rest, the NPC comes back as a shadow. It's great. It really terrified her. She had a blast. And then we watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which she absolutely loved. And that movie does bring me to tears every time at certain points. It's a really good movie. Highly recommend the Dungeons and Dragons movie if you haven't seen it. It's one of Michelle Rodriguez's best roles, honestly. She's like the heart of that movie, I feel like, and it's very underrated in that film. But we're making progress. We're about to call out the second cup. It's great. I've also been playing a lot of, I played 3 games now in the past 2 days of A Feast for Odin, which is a board game where you play Vikings, basically trying to create your little society. It's pretty fun. There's so many options of what you can do in that game, you know. You can build houses, you can go raiding and pillaging, you can hunt whales or trap animals or buy ships, build ships, immigrate. It's great.
Take that!
Go mining in the mountains. And of course you gotta make your food and stuff for your feast. Craft things. It's a great game. Highly recommend. They have it on a board game arena as well with a very good tutorial. You ever have an urge to get into board games and you want to do it for value, right? Go to boardgamearena.com, and it has tons and tons of board games that you can play for free, or you can get a subscription which lets you also set up your own games, and they cost, oh man, I think it's like $30 a year, maybe at the most. It's cheap. Very good value. But we're finally about to catch up to where we were at. I've been rambling for a while. It's spring break right now for my family, for my kiddo, so we've been hanging out every day. It's been a good time. So we are about where we're at now, right? Okay. Something else. Not the empty bottle. Not the broken lock. Not the pile of books. Not this little keyhole. Let's turn off the auto as well if we can. I think it's off. Not this book. Not that. What could possibly give it away? There's nothing left to click. Not the candle. Wait, did something else just light up? Broken lock. Oh, it just did it shift whenever I moved? Yeah. Dang it. Not the books. Not the empty bottle. None of these items over here. Nothing. Nothing down there. Nothing along this wall. Nothing along this back wall. Candle, we already checked. Broken lock is not the answer. Check that. Nothing else with the door, it seems like. Cracks up here, nothing. Bottle. Maybe I need to do like a slower turn and see if I see anything when the angle's different. Nothing on like the back side of the bottle. Nothing down here. Dude, what the heck? What is this? For real. What is there left to click? I clicked all the things. Man, what? I'm so confused by this. Nothing with this rug down here. Can't look up or down. We can't rotate any further. Watch, we're just gonna do a sweep all the way across. Down, all the way across. Nothing. Down, all the way across. All the way across. All the way across. All the way across. There's nothing else. I must have done something wrong. I checked the bottle. I checked the books. I checked the lock last. I checked the candle. I don't get it. Nothing. Even if we turn it, there's nothing. I'm so confused. I don't want to like look it up, but like I honestly don't know how to progress right now. It's so weird. We tried all the things. And we have enough failures to try them all again, but I don't see the point. You know? It would help if we could see a 360 of the room. Maybe that would give something away, but like this? Nothing. Nothing with the candle. I'm trying to go a little bit slower around it, make sure I'm not missing anything else with it. Like if the dialogue changes or something, but it doesn't seem like it. Empty bottle, empty bottle. Pile of books, pile of books, pile of books. Glasses. Book. Nothing down here. Nothing in there. Did it just bug out on me? I don't get it. Y'all are gonna have to forgive me. I had to look. I guessed everything. I can't see anything else to guess. I have to look. Hang on. Clouded Memoirs of the Clouded Kokoro investigation to course correction. Alright. Part 1. Part 2. Alright, so let's see. Oh no, it's part 1. Yeah, because this talks about Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Hang on, part 1. The Great Deduction. Course correction. Okay. Examine the pile of books on the table. I did that.
Take that!
What? What? Hang on. Court record. Let me look at the court record. What? It says right here. On statement night, examine the pile of books on the table. The books happen to have the same time. That's what I thought it would be. Yeah. Let me look at the street names again. Okay, yeah. Alright, yeah. This is the same. I'm gonna lose my frickin' mind with this. That was my first guess too, was the books. It was my first guess. This game is screwing me. I don't get it. It's the pile of books. It's gotta be the pile of books. What's weird is that it doesn't seem like it gives me a whole set of dialogue saying it the other.
Take that!
I don't know why I tried it again. I'm losing it. What's going on? Let me make sure that there's not a chance for me to... Oh my god. What the hell? I'm so confused why this didn't work the first time either. Yeah, we got the teacup. And it says, this is what it says exactly. There are two teacups. There likely was someone else drinking tea with the victim. In statement 9, examine the pile of books on the table. Okay. Let me try examining them first instead of presenting. This is stupid. I hate this. Sorry. We knew what we were doing. We knew that that's... Oh my god. I'm losing my mind with this. I wasted like 20 minutes of my life. Yeah, these are the books. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I know. I knew this the second I saw a pile of 3 books. Oh no. I feel so bad that I looked that up. I should have known that I was... Should have examined first. I'm so stupid. It's upsetting. Alright, now we can present that though.
Take that!
Sad. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the pile of familiar books. Quite so. It's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's a link to the truth. The double snap is incredible, by the way. Mr. Natsuma, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. But that's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? This very moment. Yeah, it's a good call on his bluff to do that. No, never, non-negotiable. Can't bring your own copies here. It proves that those 3 books are in fact yours. Destroyed. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodgings, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on that evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. I love these snaps. Oh, this is a nice little sequence, actually. Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in this room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. That visitor was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Oh no. Oh no. Thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Holmes' great deduction. Oh, brother. And we knew that that's where that was going, right? It was just, it took forever to get there. Holy cow. And it was my own fault, too, mostly, you know? That's what's so upsetting about it. Not again, not again, not again. Yeah, terrible situation all again for her. He's probably innocent, right? Because he does end up back in... We know he ends up back in London. Well then, Mr. Natsume, it would appear you're going to have to accompany me down to the yard. Again. But, wait! Hold your horses! Yes? Door! Key! Locked! Entry! Exit! Entirely! Impossible! So flustered, he's being even stranger than normal. What? You think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? You live in the same building, after all. You'd have had plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. What? Misery me? Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Moustache. You horrible Sherlock Holmes! Oh yeah, it's found himself an arch rival now. This is actually really funny. I love this. Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Locum student, Mr. Ryu Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but... You have to help me, please, please! I'm innocent! Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. One more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. Oh, brother. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken, Seke found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deduction of the great detective. My dear fellow, that honor belongs to you. Great. And this is a lovely place to stop. Right after sending Soseki away. Next time we'll do whatever's next. Holy moly, that was an adventure. Thank you all so much for watching. Next time we are going to continue the investigation phase of this before eventually hopping into the court case phase, presumably. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being awesome, for being yourself. Make sure you take care of others. Make sure you take care of yourselves. And I will see you next time. Peace out.